And we're back for our Let's Play of Neyyah. Last time we poked around Vamir's not-so-secret office. He moved locations after all. And I think it's about time we check out this thing. Like, there was stuff over here. Locked, I mean. Well, first, look around here. Because according to our secret portal stuff journal... Come on. Dome zone, harbor zone, point. Glorifiac Point's main island. Inside the wall of the Golarcraft hangar, close to two old Fizzalton posters. Haha! I'll use that later. You can tell where it was because the wood grain was slightly misaligned. Not enough for you to notice immediately, though. Just enough to know what you're looking for. Yeah. Alright then. First things first. Let's see what's down here. Warning, lethal aortic gas used in the chamber below. Mask required. Gotcha. And away we go. Some strange powder on this. Is it? Well, there's a film. I don't know what this is. Well, this has no power to it, because this thing needs another orange paita, which we don't have that color, but it is maximum power. I think it was something Vamir was working with. So that's that. We'll get to that. This better be the right key. Yay! Boop. Alright then, what's up here? Boop. A lot of stuff here. Probably get off the elevator platform. Investigate. Computer system. And doors. Victory 4231. Yeah, victory for small X, but not. Wait, hold on. Why is there water on the ceiling? Something happened here. Tore off a chunk of a planet. Cool. Probably was terrifying at the moment, but, you know. Let's see, before we investigate this room, let's investigate these rooms. Why not? Rather Spartan sleeping quarters. Paper. It's got some secret codes on it. After you fuel the Neyyah, head straight to the Neyyah eater chamber. I'll meet you there once I've accessed the Neyyah system 2 and lowered the Neyyah. Remember to keep the plasma shield open. I have a little experiment to conduct. One which Small X would no doubt feed me for the Benoxy for. Vamir. Okay. Other than that, we got a journal. Oh boy, you're good. Go reading again. Oh, not the inventory, the J for journal. Mason. That's what Vamir came to call me. There's nothing wrong with the name, although I know deep down my core my real name is very different. Even after so long since I arrived on Neyyah, my memory has not yet fully returned to me. I know this frustrates Vamir, wishes to understand, but I know he's already constructed stories in his head regarding my whereabouts and my connection of Tequilivian. One night, perhaps a month after I'd arrived on Neyyah, once Vamir had made sure I looked like one of the Ologerians with the mark of Oloj drawn on the side of my face, I recalled a dream to Vamir. I could only piece together certain parts of it. There was a portal opening up before me, purple rocky outcrops surrounded me, and light exploded from out of the portal ahead. I was being lured into it. Heard voices behind me, and upon looking back I could see 4 cloaked figures, spaced apart from one another by at least 2 meters, and a crowd of people stood behind them. Purple rock everywhere. I was inside some sort of cavern. Before long, the light of the portal enshrouded me, and at that moment I noticed something dark and hideous emerging from the haze above me. 2 eyes, one a bright yellow, while another's blackish shadow, centered by a fiery red light. A deep, thunderous, growling sound erupted through my ears, growing louder the further I allowed the light of the portal to take my whole body, my whole mind, my whole soul, till I vanished. Vamir discovered me at the Belska Shrine at Penoria Point. I was naked and unconscious. The Terminator rule of time travel. Or maybe just teleporting in general. I don't know. Well, I do it pretty well. He recalls noticing purple rock dust on my skin. Vamir believes the Pelska was connected with my appearance here on Neyyah. It's hard for me to recall faces or names. I know I had family, and people who cared for me, and I know I'd been sent here for a reason. One name does surface in my mind, sweeping away at the strange purple dust of mystery and making things in my life as clear as the Feyamorsive that sun that bathes my skin. Small axe. It only pains me when I think about it, boiling my blood, clawing at my skin. My heart breaks at the grief this name has caused, to the people, the faces, the souls I long to remember. Small axe. I shall find him. Maybe more will come to me as time passes. I hope so. Something unusual happened to me the other day. Vamir instructed me to go down to Spore Dock to replace the safe there, holding the Neyyah activation key. But upon traversal through the Felorian portal, the safe unlocked itself. Okay. I was certain the safe had been locked before its transit through the portal. Vamir also informed me that such safes had exploded while being sent through Felorian portals. Oh dear. After a few days, the portal seemed to have been given a complete upgrade. There's no problem now, but the Shriyuki portals continue to cause problems, with a possible closure of those portals entirely. Vamir hasn't explained to me the lock mechanisms for the safes, but at least I know a way to unlock one if I ever need to do so. That might be useful, don't you think? I witnessed Vamir setting up one of these strange, weird-looking lantern devices down by the Duluth arrival station the other day. I've seen some of these placed in the waters in the Ashka heater chamber too. I believe it may relate to an experiment he wants me to be a part of. Not too sure what it's all about, but I have a feeling it's somehow connected to Oloj. If I can get to Oloj, I can get to Small Axe. After looking at the weird lantern object, I noticed it's connected to a manhole cover, one of which always seems to be locked. I can only assume must be open remotely. What's he hiding in there? The other day, I left the door to the lab's basement unlocked at the lobby area. Managed to climb down to a small chamber, which I can only assume was once used for storage, but has now been filled with strange contraptions. One of which I have seen before, at least a part of it, for he had set everything up in the Lodvik Tower in the Ashka pools. He's since sealed off that top floor as well. What are you up to, Vamir? Something involving Mayorta gas, apparently. Fueling my suspicions, Vamir has been spending a lot of time at Penoria Point lately. That ancient shrine, it almost calls to me in my sleep, awakening something in me which has so far lied dormant throughout my whole life until now. So many questions. Traveling here to Neyyah caused a fog to enshroud my memories. Not sure if this is an expected side effect of the traversal. All I know is the Pelska and the Small Axe are important elements for my reasons for being here. And now we got secret notes. Things are starting to come back to me. It's important that I keep these entries concealed from now, just in case. Survivors. They would talk at the Pelskas. For some reason, I struggle to remember that name. That creature's eyes. Gazing deep into my soul from above the bright haze in the portal for my dream. It tries to stop me from remembering. What is this creature? All I know is Vamir is drawn to the Pelskas, seen to lie dormant, hidden from this world. I'm aware from the memories I have managed to salvage from my grip of that beast staring back at me in my dream that the Pelskas never visited my home, Quilivia. The very place I was sent from. 4 rulers sent me here, people of wisdom and old age, survivors of betrayal bestowed upon their world long ago by Small Axe. Visalta, their home world. I am here to reclaim it for them, discover where Small Axe lies, and only then will I be able to uncover the whereabouts of my people, a gateway with a name I've heard spoken of so many times through the years, the Quilivian. Once open, my people can enter this world. We shall take back what is rightfully ours. Ah! So, he is, in fact, from the old people of Feamor, got kicked out by Small Axe. Although him mentioning Small Axe's ancient history implies that he was from, like, the future? So maybe I wasn't wrong with the whole Terminator joke? Weird. I've noticed Vamir has been using the salt pages a lot more. He's hiding things, so don't blame him. Of course, I do the same thing myself, and so I also introduced him to it. Or I should say he discovered it himself, finding a way to read some of the writing in an old journal he'd brought me to Neyyah when I had first arrived. I no longer have this book. More salt, please. Didn't really understand much of the writing myself, having very little memory of the mind who had bound the book to page. But now I do recall beautiful messages left behind by my grandfather, my mother, and my sister. And I try to put them aside, although I said to become swallowed up by the pain that they are no longer with me. Yet, I am fueled by the vision of my success in opening the Quilivian, freeing my people, and being reunited with my family once again. I chose this path. The 4 rulers trusted me to save their world. I will not fail. My grandfather. More memories snaked their way to the surface of what seemed to be an endless desert of unknown, of confusion, suffocating my mind for so long. I know now why I had to rid myself from that journal. Grandfather's death at the Purple Caves of Quilivia overshadows my happier memories of him, and I had to burn that book. Only to have a stranger, an Olugerian, Jarian, take our ways of hiding our writing, concealing vital information, thoughts and prayers, and mold it into something to satisfy his own needs. Vamir wasn't able to uncover much of my journal from what I can recall. However, he did get me to work very quickly in creating a similar ink using flora around here on Neyyah. At first, he found the Gofunki mushrooms to be quite favorable. Then, after adding warlax flowers into the mix, he created an ink which worked almost as well as the ink I used back on Quilivia. The old one. I've heard this muttered by Vamir in his sleep. Went out to the back computer last night to check the status of the Neyyah heater chamber. Heard him through a closed door of his quarters. The old one. What does this mean? Apparently it's me, even though I'm 27. Yep, birthday was a while ago. Happy birthday, yay. He has been working on some strange devices down at Benoria Point. There's an old building down there, circular in shape, but built very close to the Pelska Shrine. I've seen sketches of such buildings that the survivors have drawn over the years. If I recall correctly, they are used for weapons storage during the Visaltian reign. Now, something else. Something Vamir's creating. But for what? I'll disconnect to Pelska. I don't know, you could just open up to him. It's supposed to be in just like, I don't like you because you're Olugerian. Like he's trying to help you, man, come on! Something is being planned between them and it's connected with that building. More salt. And those weird machines he's built down there. That's it. I know now. There are 2 towers on Neyyah which serve as transmitters to the Jalud portal here at the lab. I know Vamir had some lock system put in place to keep the tower secure, but I'm also aware that he uses the Jalud to return to Olajay. You must have it running all the time, surely. Maybe the lock systems don't even exist. They're just a way to distract me. What else could those towers be used for? There's a task Vamir wants me to finish by the end of the day, collecting old heater shells from the Neyyah zone. He wants them brought back here to the lab. Seems to be protective of them. Or at least one of them. Maybe Smolix is getting too close. I remember the symbol pound just as much as I remember the correct colors used for the crystal block mechanisms. If anything, it's Vamir who needs to worry about forgetting them. His mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Perhaps he's had the same dream as I had. That creature's eyes are starting to haunt him, too. Anyway, after this task is done, I shall prepare myself to get on board the Jalud and travel to Olajay. I've been waiting for far too long. Now is the time. My time. My people's time. Smolix, I'm coming for you. And then he blew up. Poor sod. Well, suppose we can continue with the mission for him. Another room. Let's see what's in here. This bedroom's a tad more put together. Well, give or take, it's not exactly fancy, but, like, it's not a hand-me-down, I suppose. Would it even be a hand-me-down? Like, Mason's room, I don't know, it's just cobbled together more than anything. But Vamir's bedroom is, not exactly not Spartan. That's the family, how cute. Anything on the books? Ooh. I've seen you before. Well, the symbol for it. Haha! Don't read the paper. Paida. It's powerful word. On Olajay, Paidas only mount to labs. One-leg glass windows, black curtains, locked doors. Top of the Belindi Hills are under operation within a place where all the magic happens. The people who live down our street believe what I do is his work. The thought dust aftermath of his beckoning. The thought dust aftermath of his... Okay, that's weird. His machine breath. If I hear Smolix say this to me one more time, I swear I'll set up a Quilivian of my own and trap him inside it while he sleeps. Well, I am working on it, but it won't be no Quilivian, and I want to make sure he's conscious when the teleportation takes place. The bunker's already set up, just as Ernter instructed. Neyyah will provide what is needed. I struggle tonight with my thoughts. While I have successfully set up the Mayorta gas system and tested the Orge Fade required to power it, I can't help but be reminded of the near-death experience that came as a result of not thinking clearly when testing a month or two ago. Can't blame Taliba for this incident. I know a dispute would arise after telling her about certain precautions I've set up here at the lab. Wakara Security continue to insist I upgrade the VED N80 security doors, even though I've gone down to their offices in person, explaining that I can maintain the system myself. Sure, Smolix is behind it. So I decided to block them on the Bannock system, and I understand Taliba's irritation that can only lead to more suspicion and problems from the powers above. Notice a change in her mood lately. While I'm aware she worries about me, I'm also sensing a growing resentment in her towards what my work entails. The sacrifice. The relentless thunderstorm above our heads rumbling, what if? My love, I will strive to make sure nothing happens to our family. We're so close now. 2 months ago, I had to escape the lab's Mayorta chamber. Reckon I'd never climbed up a ladder so fast in all my life. Mayorta gas erupted way too quickly, after I miscalculated to pay the activation lever's speed in vaporizing the glass of the table which keeps the Mayorta gas cloud contained. Memory doesn't serve me well as it used to, so I set up some posters to remind me to carry a mask on me at all times whenever entering any of the Mayorta gas areas. Oh yeah, that's what that's for. Can't continue to dwell on this setback. Perhaps I'm tired. With Taliba's shoulder massagers will be perfect right now. Very proud of my accomplishments, especially in tinkering with the components of the tube portals. Remember attending one of the early expeditions to excavate the caves where the Mayorta gas had been discovered. I was a young man back then. Still recall the monoxy screeches. My hands covered in green moss from the cave walls as I steadied myself, traipsing down into ink-black pools of darkness filling these ancient tunnels. I'm glad Smolix pushed for a tube portals to be created. They now serve a great purpose here on Neyyah. My adjustments to a specific tube portal have required the use of other devices. On the Bannock system, I've managed to keep locations of the tube portals classified. I can't hide the sensors very easily. This is why I need to keep as many people off Neyyah as possible. Well, I know Taliva is sick of frustration. I'm sure she understands. One side effect of the Majority gas eruption is that even with wearing a gas mask, somehow a vision will take place. For a moment, I felt I was actually in the place I needed to teleport to, even though I'm only activating the tube portal in that moment. If I was to pursue further research into Majority gas, I'm sure it could generate a teleportation from the very gas itself. I've tried hard to conceal my escape route from Neyyah, despite the use of sensors. However, I did not set up a security camera console for it. Location will make itself known anyway once the Majority gas is released. And I believe the portal to the Electron machine doesn't necessarily require a camera system either. I may dismantle this at some point. Could have saved her into the trouble sending me a new camera system for the transportation tower security code, and just use this one instead. Well, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. I'll keep one of the Paidas here in my quarters for now, but I believe the key to my escape route back to Neyyah requires higher security and protection. Well, that's that, whatever that is. So apparently we got the key to get to the Paida to get to wherever that one sends us. But to go further from that location requires some other stuff. Neat. Well, alright, here's another bloody journal. Let's get on with it. I've had to dismantle the railings at the bridge leading to the old bunker at the Scarlety Towers. They are rusted almost to nothing. Shame Smollett doesn't share the same views on the Zelton world as I do, or at least he used to. Even that symbol which represents Falitsu Island is a full circle, when it didn't need to be. All the others are broken circles. He just wanted to make it clear that LJ is indeed the center of everything. Okay, noted. So the circle, half-circle bits note the islands, as well as the triangles for the, I don't know. Bunch of things representing the islands. There's been a recent addition to the Bannock computer system on the lab, an update to the Jetuk portal, apparently delivering a stronger access to the Spore docks through the Toledo portal leading to Panorvia Point. I believe this will cause extra strain on the system there, even with countless fixes Smollett has slapped onto these ancient machines. We'll see how this pans out. Smollett seems to have taken a liking to my recent experiments with the Gofunki and mushroom spores. The results on the lanterns I've set up so far in Neyyah seem to indicate they deliver a great source of light power. While the lanterns seem to be working great on flat surfaces, more uneven, rockier surfaces cause the lantern's tentacles to lose their grip. I've been thus working on more remotely powered sources of light which can be activated by those beautiful Gofunki mushroom spores. So far, so good. Glad I took a few then. Quick maintenance check on the Kula crystal set up I installed a while ago at the watchtower of Falitsu Island's harbor. Surprising how powerful it still is after having not inspected it for a good month or two now. Seems to work fine too. Heater servers don't seem to complain. The old vanishing tower nearby still provides even today, despite most of it now crumbling away into the ocean. Mason seems quite content with the new responsibilities I've given him, in regards to checking up on the Neyyah plant, making sure everything's running at point A, the Neyyah zone. The Neyyah Platinum Series models are great and hold up very well, but I doubt any upgrades will be taking place for a while. Small X fear the spore counts are getting low here on Site 28, as he calls it. Competition's coming your way, he said. We'll see about that, Small X. I've managed to hide the crystal safely away in a place Small X will never end up going. Probably too afraid he'll be attacked by an Alopolite still lurking away in those dark chambers after all these years. No goal or craft to save you, Small X, not now. Oh boy. Mason seems to agree with me on making sure there's a place to remind ourselves what color's needed for the mechanism. Spore Dock sounds good. I've managed to tinker around with the power flow of the console there. The old activation console is in a secure place at point A of the ocean portal. But I've made sure the key is also secure, and the Spore Dock seems a convenient place considering the safe which holds it. Velatron machine continues to work its magic, even with the Fielditch clan no longer present to oversee its power. However, may they forgive the slight alterations I've made to install into the machine, due to the mechanism there being so ancient. It'll work well for the code system. The oil canister still fits and operates as it should do, fueling the machine. But with the use of Belix oil, I feel it still connects the Velatron Temple with the other 5 zones of Falitsu Island. I was tidying up some spilled Levandus crystals from a fallen bowl at the emergency exit chamber of the Glorfiak Mines the other day. Sea breeze can pick up a gale through the closed tunnel there. Then I stopped in my tracks and thought about my actions. While I strive to preserve what's left of the Zelchin world, perhaps I, too, am only sucking dry the remaining soul of this Scar land. As it is, a monstrous machine now sits there where the Chianti Hall used to be, housing these very Levandus crystals. Crystals which are protected and held sacred to the Zelchins, dating back to a time long ago, when the Lithray sailed out to discover the constellation numbers. And now they're connected up to pipes and tubes, dunked in solutions to help grow Falitsu plants. Yet another part of Fazalta stolen by us and molded to fit our own needs. Am I just like Smollax? Even my attempts to help better all of J, perhaps I'm not preserving anything of their old world at all. I know many of the old Fazaltian spears being fallen or been blown off from certain structures here on Neyyah, and I have let these be, as though not to disturb too much of this ancient world. Maybe I should let my thoughts be for now. I can only do what I can. Till the Quilivian's found, Fazalta remains in the grip of all of J. Neyyah will only open Nayashka Site 28 and the Lodvik Tower, once bearing the sacred Lodvik waters which were pumped to the Nayashka chamber to help grow this beautiful plant. Will only ever serve as another means which I am guilty of instigating, a means of escape. Everything's built to serve all of J. What will the Fazaltians think when they do return here to Neyyah? Wonder if it's too late. Orion speaks of the old one. He'll show arrive here very soon. From what she's told me about them, I hope it's sooner rather than later. Well, I'm glad I left a good first impression, even though I didn't meet her until that point. Whatever. Alright then. And now we got all this stuff here, oh boy. Reading papers, checking out shelving. To Vamir de Healy, I'm informing you of the immediate closure of the elevator at the Falitsu Dome until the button mechanism there has been fixed. I'm curious to why the button has been tampered with in the first place. I'm not sure when to expect a new mechanism installation. I might have parts for you to collect sometime in the next week or two, but I can't say for sure. As you're aware, work has been very demanding at the Rinalda Temple lately. I'll revise any structural checks for the dome's roof and inform you of any confirmed dates for inspection. Until then, I hope work with the Falitsu routes continues to provide promising results. Smollax. Lava field's been activated successfully. All operations on the dome will cease for now, as explained in my letter. If you're able to find a fix for the button system there, inform me as soon as you can. Smollax. Okay. What's here then? Dear Smollax, I'm writing to you in regards to increasing the fragility of the Falitsu Dome. I understand you're very busy putting a lot of our resources into the Lefalomian portal, but I believe we're so close to creating a brand new source of energy for the Falitsu routes, which could easily surpass any of the current Paidas we have coming out of the labs. I appreciate the hard work and time already spent in separating the Falitsu Dome from the rest of Falitsu Island. However, I'm going to require more sophisticated materials if I'm to sustain healthy root growth and generate accurate results through the Vanox computer system. One of my current concerns is a faulty pipe in Falitsu Pod 4. It keeps disconnecting and leaking fluids everywhere. I call upon the aid of the priest at the Rinalda Temple. With their specialized tools, I believe we can take full advantage of using more natural-based resources from Fayamar. So far, the tests carried out look hopeful, with more roots churning out stronger pellicite readings. My faith in the use of Fayamar's natural resources also stems from having used another plant material. The Gofunky Yunk mushroom provides spores which, when mixed with two chemicals, tashabaniol and clophenol, produce a very efficient and sustainable light source. Unlike the Falitsu roots, no seawater is required to add into the mix. I've set up a few of these light sources around the Nayashka Site 28. Please find attached a couple photos referring to points I've made in my letter. I'm free any time in the coming week to arrange a meeting with yourself and any of the priest, which may be available to speak further on the Flitz Dome's upgrades. Best wishes, Vamir. A light source, and a broken pipe. Okay then. Then we got this thing over here. What's in here? Remote power using the mushroom spores. Satellite connects to remote light sources. Spores inserted here. After different experiments, I found a Gofunkian mushroom spores at the sleeping tower area of Flitzu Island to work most effectively on the new remotely powered lanterns. Maybe it's something to do with the nearby Binoxi Eye portal. Those rays could be added to potencies of the spore's growth. I'm quite happy with the new contraption which processes the spores. So far so good. Let there be light in dark places. And then we got this thing. Spore heater prototype, activity console. Status, spores detected, heaters inactive. Last system update, 4274. Ah. So they drop in from heat. Neat. Heaters active, spores attached, arms required. Okay then. Wait. I see you. Sender Aluxus heating system sent 3102-4045 a month ago. Printed from Vamir system emails from, again, Aluxus heating systems. The attention of Vamir to Healy. This email is in response to our meeting alongside our protector, Small Exomet, in regards to his concerns with the current heater system set up in Neyyah Site 28. After reviewing the current setup you have running, we decided to begin installation of new pipes which will carry the heater server cables from the heater servers through the Ludwig connection tower and into the Ashka heater chamber. I hope you've received the prototype pipe already. This metal will enable more protection for the cables and withstand hotter temperatures once the system's powered. Smolix has also decided to heighten security on the use of fuse boxes on the heater servers. Rather than using only the Tron accounts generated by Holden's machines, they need to be multiplied by certain numbers. I'll leave these numbers for you to decide upon. Results will be the numbers required to power the fuse boxes. Also glad you decided on a remote source of power for overall activation of the heater servers. Okay, so red is 4 times, blue is 3 times, green is 2 times, 1 is just use a number. I respected your wish not to interfere too much with the old Zulchin technology you seem to latch onto. The Ludwig Tower died away years ago, ever since the first ocean portal was constructed. I believe Smolix has already made you aware of his lack of interest in continuing to use Zulchin technology. I strongly recommend casting your gaze upon newer systems that could provide longer life for Site 28 at less expense. Please consider the alternate systems or operation of the heaters. Spore delivery there is fruitful. I beg you, don't squander it over to Neyyah for a world only shrouded in ghosts. Yamin Cloit, Director of Aluxus Heating Systems. Well, that's not very nice. Oh. Well, same difference, I suppose, which way we go. Uh-huh. Big old fishing net, or spore capture thing, I guess. Use the pipe works he was mentioning. Reminder, send old pipes back to Olajay. Possible reuse in Lab 17. Note here. To Vamir to Healy, I apologize for the delay of the construction work on the Flitzu Dome. Not only have the sea levels risen around Flitzu Island area, but it appears the heat has something to do with why my men seem so anxious as to the very thought of stepping onto those old Zulchin wooden walkways again. Sons turn their minds to Malaybadung. All they talk of is voices in their heads whenever they step foot back on the docks here on Olajay. Those damn vines are also causing havoc on the scaffolding there. Maybe they can help bring down the rest of that wretched Zulchin mess hall, or whatever it used to be. No matter. Krell de Volca beckons, and thus we shall answer and continue our work. I'm hoping the current state of the dome's technology is providing significant progress in your search for alternative power sources. I'm looking at strengthening the power of the blue crystal fences, too. not only at the dome, but other areas of Neyyah Site 28. The vines seem eager to burn under them, rather than retreat back to those cursed waters. The elevator sector seems to be a stronghold against any natural forces. Those towers there are strong and perfect for protecting such important devices. Meanwhile, although I require a new team to conduct the research required to get such work underway, I am quite eager to pursue matters in regards to finding alternative use for the Billix tank oils on Palitsu Island. That old contraption needs to be brought down and a new system put in place to make use of that oil. While I understand you are quite preoccupied with... Oh, sorry, wrong button. Other matters on Neyyah Site 28. If you do have a free moment to check what the levels of the tank might be, inform me and I'll see to putting some construction plans in place. I've also ceased work on the railway system linking the Levantis Crystal coastline and the Jalud station area of the arrival sector, for reasons I previously mentioned. Well, the Neyyah spores are fruitful on Neyyah Site 28. The place has caused me nothing but trouble. Let me know if the rail cart system is powered enough to get from one side to the other. The Binoxide portal seems to be running at full capacity now. I just hope the propulsion mechanism currently installed on the rails isn't making too much of a bumpy trip. A stronger fuse system will suffice, replacing the current Jalud fuse installation required at the cart. I believe Neyyah Site 28 holds the key to evolving our technologies in ways we haven't thought possible. More than just drawing old Felicity roots and cases of chemicals and hoping to see what powers squeeze from them. The more we can strip away at the Fizalchan corpse that continues to fester below our sanctuary, the stronger we will be, the closer we shall be to him. Smilax. Okay, cretin. The current symbology depicted in the Billix tank emblem, where all the J is joined with the lands of Fizalcha, creates a bitter taste in my mouth. We shall definitely revive this design once we have plans for a new system in place. I'm excited to push forward with ideas on how the oil can be used more effectively for our purposes here on Olajay. Also, I'm certain we had one of these oil canisters left behind by our betrayers. We took it with them when they threw the last of the damned souls into Oblivion. Ah! Fizalchan rail system upgrades, rail track. Jaren rail track, Fizalchan rail track, buffer stop. Nudger cart arrival at Levantis Crystal Coastline. Cart departure, returning to sleeping tower area. Hoping to remove the nudges from the rail system once the old rail is fully demolished. Once fully operational, I can approve other rail systems across Neyyah Site 28. Smilax. Yeah, but they work fine though. You're just there's no need to replace them other than you just don't like them. Prejudice. To Vamir to Healy. The improvements you've made to my Relta gun are the finest I've seen in a while. I've noticed a far clearer and sharper aim when hunting down the Maliva cats. I've not organized a hunting expedition on Neyyah Site 28 for a while, as their population seems dwindled there compared to other areas of Fizalta. While I prefer the marble white walls of my temple, catching these plated beasts across various terrain below distracts me from the arduous work taking place at the Rinalda Temple. After their betrayal and the battle which followed, they seem to have fled further into forested areas. Do not threaten, my dear Vamir. My Relta only follows tranquilizers. I'm aware you don't agree with animals being experimented on, but in my eyes, it's no different than your plant tests. Once unconscious, the plated beasts are brought back to Elegy and marked. This way I'm not repeating the procedure on the same animals. The Lima cat's blood seems to contain a property which, when mixed with the Glyphium, accelerates the plasma generation of the Fomian portal. I honestly believe this cat will be the answer to speeding up our work, ridding ourselves from this cursed place once and for all, returning back to him. Let me know if you want to organize any hunting expeditions down the Neyyah Site 28. You would be most welcome. Maybe you'd wield the Relta better than I can. I'm always up for a challenge, my dear Vamir. Smilax. They're literally using animals as a resource, as opposed to treating them like actual living creatures. Fucking hate this guy, and I haven't even seen him yet. suppose we'll use this computer system next time, because, ooh boy, we read a lot of lore.